From the Action 18 Weather Center, this is a severe weather report.
All right, we're back, and just doing that ID break, we had a nice little lightning strike that tried to cut the circuit breakers, but the backup supply brought us right back on. And again, it looks like with that activity, okay, I don't see that at all anymore.
Why don't, no, that purple has disappeared.
Okay, let's don't be concerned about that one anymore unless we get some kind of confirmation. Oh, we do have a new tornado. No. Now this is weird. You remember when we had the tornado warning around the Abbeville area, but it also included northeastern Dale County, which I said made no sense at all because the warning came out and said it was near Abbeville and it was moving off quickly to the east-northeast into Georgia. Well, they reformulated that, and now you can see on our map up around Abbeville, you can see that that warning for the tornado has now moved into Georgia. It is in parts of Clay County and then will be into Randolph County in Georgia, moving way out of the area. Okay, and the one down here in Dothan, again, we don't have anything else on that. So the only tornado warning that we're really concerned about in our vicinity right now is that one that's further to the south and it still has not shown up. Let's see if we can finally get it. There it goes. All right, let's see if we can actually get the information on it this time. Let's see, that's the one that was in Abbeville. So we don't have, that should be it. Yeah, okay, this is the one that came out about 5 minutes ago. This is for southeastern Geneva County, southeastern, that doesn't make sense either. It says southeastern Geneva, southeastern Houston. All right, let's just call it southeastern Geneva County and southern Houston County, northwestern Jackson County, and extreme northeastern Holmes County. This is a Doppler indicated tornado. It will be around Graceville as we speak. And that, I'm not really sure. I think it probably, let's see, it might have been around Graceville a few minutes ago, but it's near Graceville, and it'll be around Cottonwood in about 15 minutes, around 12:15. So again, that's pretty much the area down there. If you want to close in on that area versus to the south, right there. Right it was supposed to be near Graceville right as we speak, and then it's moving off toward Cottonwood, which is up here. So it's got this direction, let's see.
Graceville, there's Cottonwood.
I'm going to see the direction, hold on. Moving east. Well, you can see Cottonwood's not exactly east of Graceville, it's east-northeast, so that's a little concern. But again, what we're seeing here, I'd almost point out, this is the best one I can point for. Again, with activity, everything's going on. Let's go back to the other radar. I'm going to show you that one that Ted's got up. Right here, we got Graceville, and basically it would be in this vicinity here. This has got the best signature of anything, and then there's a little more intense echo up here. And that would make sense headed toward Cottonwood. So it's near Graceville, but that's true, it's near, but it's not on top of Graceville, but it's further to the north. And again, that's right along the Alabama-Florida line near highway, what is that one? Put my glasses on. 103, that's what I thought. Yeah. And that's moving kind of in an east direction, but probably drifting a little north of east. Okay, here's Graceville down here, and you've got some more activity headed towards you. But that would be the one I was concerned up there, because this stuff down here near Graceville, west and southwest, is not going to be headed toward Cottonwood. Ted, you need to keep Cottonwood in the frame, and Graceville, whatever, just move it down some. So a little bit further down where Graceville goes down. No, not up, goes down. Right, a little bit further, that's good, right there. And then now we'll keep Cottonwood in sight. But this activity, again, it would be right in this vicinity here, but that's really a weak setup right now, that what I'm seeing here. It doesn't mean it is a weak setup, but from the configuration I'm having here, it's not showing up that well. Okay, but it said it was in Graceville around this time, so it's got to be pretty much there. And if it's headed toward Cottonwood, this would make sense to be watching this cell back in this vicinity here. Again, that's a Doppler indicated tornado. That is not a actual confirmed one on the ground. That's Rehoboth up further to the north. Again, you can see pretty much the high winds, heavy rain, but not what you would call a bunch of lightning, enough though to catch your attention, and again a powerful lightning will cause some power outages. But you see, that's pretty much what we're looking at, that activity just north of Graceville that is trying to move east and maybe just north of due east, and that would be headed toward the Cottonwood area around 10 minutes or so. So be aware of that.
Want to take a look, one loop at this just to see maybe we can get some direction from it. Let's do one loop here just to see.
It's close in and kind of fast, so it's really hard. But I mean, it's the end of the loop, which is what we're looking at now, is what's important.
Right.
And we'll just have to see how that progresses. But that little bright area near Highway 103 would be the one to be watching. It's right in that. That does have a little signature to it that could lend itself to that, but that's really all we've got right now. But this is a tornado warning, so you folks just north of Graceville over toward Cottonwood, you need to go ahead and have your place that you're going to shelter in. Because I tell you, if you ever talk to anybody that's been at ground zero with a tornado, once they hear the noise, and usually these are rain wrapped, so if you're about 200-300 yards away, you will never hear anything but the heavy rain. And then you come out the next day and somebody say, did you hear 2 blocks away there was a tornado? But if you're near the tornado, then the rain is pretty much blown away from the funnel of the tornado itself. And as the tornado comes across, suddenly the heavy rain stops and you hear the noise. And if you've never heard a tornado before, it doesn't matter. You instinctively know what you're hearing. By the time you first hear the noise, and then you hear maybe glass breaking, limbs popping, something hitting the roof, and then you hear the noise on the other side, and then the noise is gone and the rain returns. From the time the rain stops until it resumes, you may have 30 total seconds. So you don't have time to go looking for shelter at that point. You basically just have to hit the floor. Wherever you are, you may be able to take 4 or 5 steps, but get yourself to an interior closet or a bathtub, especially if it doesn't have a window in the bathroom. But the whole idea of being in the middle of the house is you have a lot of walls that act like interference. And by the time maybe the outside wall is heavily damaged and starts to fall in and hit the other walls, then it's gone. So you just have exterior damage and nothing really makes it to the inside of the house. Obviously you don't want to be near glass either. But again, if you wait to the sound, you're really risking a lot of things to happen to go on. And always be ready, be in a place, so if you do hear the sound, then you just kind of bend over, protect your head. Again, if you've got a motorcycle helmet or a bicycle helmet, keep that thing very close at hand so you can protect your head.
Right, and like, I mean, under the beds, under beds, is that a good place to jump?
If it's
or in bathtubs?
I tell you, the best thing is if you can pull the mattress and the box springs off the bed and get in the corner of the room, it's not an exterior corner, but an interior part of the house, and throw the mattress and the box springs on top of you.
Yeah.
That would be a huge cushion for anything like parts of the roof or whatever, or 2x4s falling on you.
Yeah.
And that's a good example of trying to use a little whatever you got at your building. If you got a really heavy oak table that takes 4 people to move, get under that thing.
Yeah,
anything that really is heavy. If you got a $2,000 billiard table, that thing's really heavy. That thing would protect you if it's got a little opening underneath. But again, lighter furniture and all that, obviously that's not a good thing. Protect your head. All right, what do we got further to the south? All right, so we still got that little, okay, you're going too far south again. You got to keep it up here where Cottonwood stays in sight.
Okay.
All right, now, here's the problem. I'm going to go to the wall. Here's the problem. That activity is still north of Graceville, so it can't be what we're concerned about. Because if we were concerned about it, it would have moved further now. It wouldn't still be here. It would be further over in this vicinity here. Here's Cottonwood up here. And again, now sometimes these things that come out from the National Weather Service talking about it's moving this direction may be off a little bit. So I think basically it's moving probably east, northeast direction, more east. And I think Cottonwood would be a logical destination. But right now, I'm just not really seeing it. If it's this back here, it's not moving very fast, very quickly. So I'm not really sure where the signature is at, to be honest with you, when you look at the radar. I mean, I'm not going to try to make up something, but I think probably just stick to the guns as far as what's going on. If you're anywhere from Graceville to Cottonwood, 5 miles either side of that line, be ready to seek shelter or already be in that shelter. But that's right now, that one, okay, we had the one that moved up near Abbeville. Again, all these are Doppler indicated except the one earlier in Coffee County that moved up into southern Pike County. That was on the ground briefly, but no reports of damage or anything from that. Don't know if we have anybody out in that area checking it or whatever. Have not heard from any law enforcement, any kind of potential news tips or whatever about what's going on. Otherwise, now we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning you see well east of us over toward the Albany area, Albany, however you want to call it. And as far as down into Alabama, we still have that new severe thunderstorm warning, includes Jackson County and also into parts of northern Washington County. That activity is pretty much starting to curl back and started to try to connect with that activity further to the south.
Yeah, look at that activity in the western Florida panhandle.
Yeah, I'm going to stop right.
Boy, wow.
Now, okay, now look look at all the boxes. These are, the yellows are severe thunderstorm warnings. The reds are Doppler indicated tornadoes. All the ones that are active now, we have no confirmation on any tornadoes. Doesn't mean there hasn't been one, we just don't have word on it, and it doesn't mean there will be one because we don't know about that, can't predict the future. Now we put this into motion, as Ted mentions, look at all the activity that comes in from the west, and we'll stop it there and show you the live shot, and you can see all this activity back to the west. Again, that everybody, again, like last week, if you have not been under some kind of severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, you will be.
Yeah.
Again, if you're within 50 miles one way or the other of Dothan, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning, although now it looks like the one back to the west of us has now ended for most of Coffee County and also for Dale County. We're still watching that activity though. You see that little red down in southeastern Coffee County. That's that western part of this tornado warning, forget it. What we're watching is on the eastern edge of that tornado warning box, and that basically again is moved now northeast of Dothan. It would be up here. It looks like it, whatever it was, came from near Kelly Springs Road School around Troy University, and then moved probably just south of the airport. Could be a little north of it. It's hard to say. See if we're getting reports from the airport. But at the same time, that has now moved further to the east. And in fact, you know, I'm trying to refresh my memory. Is that the tornado warning? Is that a new one, or is that the one we've already talked about? I think that's a new one. That's the one. In fact, it's going to be a new one. Hold on. Did not mean to go that way. Let's get this updated. And I think that bingo. Okay, so this, right here in Blakely, that area, Blakely, Early County, that's where the signature tornado thunderstorm cell will be now. In fact, go ahead and call that one up.
Early County in southwest Georgia, 102, actually 12.
All right, but call it up on your radar so we can look at it.
Yeah, let's go up here.
All right, and what I'll do on this one too is I will try to get a view of that a little bit more over here, right there, and let's see what we got. Okay, see now back here is Dothan. This is where the old signature was, went from west to east. And that was to 12:15, but folks, whatever signature is about to be out of that. But they've gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning because of that sale, and that includes pretty much all of a lot of Early County, including Blakely, and possibly extends down into, I'm not sure about the other counties. What does it got? It says, or it just says Early County. And it says radar indicated rotation. Doesn't really say much of anything. It just says it'd be near Blakely around this time, and also
right now,
would be Arlington about 10 minutes from now.
Yeah.
So, but again, moving east at 45 miles an hour, so it slowed down a little bit, but that's the same, that's going to be the same area that had the one down here, it appears. Although if it's near Blakely now, I'm not sure if that would be the right one. But if it's moving off to the east-northeast, it could have gotten up there. We'll find out if something was on the ground back around Daleville or whatever, or they just had some high winds or whatever. Again, until we get some information, and we're kind of operating in a vacuum here.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's Blakely right here.
Okay, so let's go by the other radar. You got it. Yeah, that one. All right, and yeah, you see, it said that's that bright area right in there. In fact, I would almost say.
Just to the northwest of Blakely, that
maybe that little appendage that hangs down southwest of Blakely, the letter B.
Oh yeah, right.
That would possibly be it. And then boom. Okay, now it makes sense. Let me show you this. All right, this one makes a little more sense, folks, with the updated, because what I was looking at earlier didn't make any sense because it should be almost past Blakely. What we're looking at right now, Blakely, it would be right here. And that would be the little signature with this, and that's moving. Of course, we're back here. Here's Columbia, Dothan here, back here, Midland City. You see Dothan at the bottom edge of the screen. But again, Blakely, it would be right here. It's pretty much past Blakely, but continues to move on off toward Arlington in a generally east-northeast direction, but basically east, and starting to move out of the area. But again, that's a tornado warning until probably another 30 minutes or so. But
1:30.
Okay,
yeah,
that
12:30 or
12:30 Central Time.
Yeah.
So that's moving out of our area. So. Other than that, the warning in our vicinity was set to expire, I think, at 12:15, and that is rapidly coming up, and it just came up. So let's see as we update this in the next 2 seconds. It should drop off, and make sure that is going to be the case. Sometimes there's a few second delay. Let's go back to, let's see, what else? Well, we covered the one in Dothan. That one's not doing anything anymore.
Right.
And the one over near Blakely is moving to the east. And for some reason, these won't drop off. But we're more concerned now with the severe thunderstorm warning. Now, let's go back to what's going on with the Broadview, because And I'm going to stop this at the very end. Okay, so you see the heaviest rain now has kind of moved east of Dothan, except on the southern edge. You folks down Malvern, Slocum, places like that, still getting the heavy rain. All moving to the east though, but you see how this kind of comes down, a lot of lightning between just around, you follow Abbeville east of that now, right along the Chattahoochee River into Georgia. How it comes down toward Dothan area and then curls back to the southwest and then into the heavier activity, the more recent activity around Century, down into the Mobile area, down Pensacola. In fact, let's go back and resume this. And what I want to do at that point is stop it at the beginning again to show you the boxes. And I'm still don't understand. I'm going to double check why these tornado warnings have not dropped off. Well, let's see exactly what's going on with these, because the Early County one does go to 1:30 Eastern time, okay, and then the one we had in Henry County, Clay County, all that, and
that's till
wasn't no, wasn't
12:30.
But wasn't that the one that was at yes? No, this is this is into Georgia. Okay, so this one is moving probably about 60 miles west east of us. So we're not really concerned about that one either. And let's see if there was anything else. Don't have anything. I'm really waiting to see why that one, because that was until 12:15, and now it's past 12:15, and why that hasn't dropped off. So let's do this. I think it has dropped off.
Dropped off our radar here.
Yeah, it should have. Okay.
Yes.
So what we do is, let's go back. Let's go into closer. Let's see what's going on around the Dothan area with a little better view. Okay, we got a slither of a severe thunderstorm warning down here in parts of central Houston County, and still the bigger one. I think we're going to have to go back and get this radar out of the way to see what exactly is going on. Still got some severe thunderstorm warnings further to the north of us, and then especially down further south of us, include that big area that just came out about 30 minutes ago, includes southern Houston County, southeastern Geneva County, and also into Mariana. And we put this into motion. You can see how the rain has kind of caught up with that area and starting to move up. What else do you have, Ted?
Well, I'm a little. Should we be concerned about this activity here in the western panhandle?
Well, yeah, there's a tornado warning down there, but it's
right.
Pensacola. We got to wait and see how that develops as it goes further east.
Right.
But there will be severe thunderstorm warnings for every one of you that are down in the Florida Panhandle.
Down
so
in
be
our
aware
Florida
of that.
counties, yeah, for
And even if you're out of the counties, all the way to the coast, there will be severe thunderstorm warnings, including the Panama City area, which seem to be kind of just out of it. In fact, right now, let's go back to my radar and look at Panama City. Look at those cells popping north of Panama City. They're too close to the main line, but if the main line was further back to the northwest, those cells could possibly become very severe, but they're close to each other, so they're going to check each other's growth, and they will eventually be absorbed by, if not that first line, then the line that's coming in from the east. But as we just saw earlier this evening, when you have cells coming in out of the south into the Florida Panhandle off the coast, and then you have a squall line coming from the west, when they merge, they basically invoke some rotation, and then boom, here you go. You got a Doppler indicated tornado rotation, and here comes a tornado warning, but nothing confirmed on the ground. But that will be happening over the next 2 to 3 hours down there. So you folks be aware of that, because we got a strong southerly inflow coming in and some really strong thunderstorms and a borderline severe raking the Pensacola area, Navarre Beach, and eventually that would be moving in, is already around the Milton area, which is north of Pensacola, and that would be moving into Okaloosa County here shortly, already getting into the extreme northwestern part of that county. But Crestview, all those areas already have severe thunderstorm warnings. So Crestview down to Fort Walton, Destin, all those areas will be seeing some heavy rain here shortly. Navarre Beach, I'm sorry, is actually east of Pensacola, not west, so they're not quite getting to that activity just yet. Again, it's headed for the Panama City area around Destin, Miramar Beach, places like that, as it continues to move off to the east. Things have settled down a little bit around Ozark and Enterprise, but you've still got the upper end of that line that's coming across the Florida Panhandle. Looks like it's trying to expand a little bit further north. Yeah. So you got another round coming, probably is about to hit Covington County. Right now we don't have any warnings. Oh, yes we do.
Yes,
we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for Covington County once again. And does it extend into, no, it does not quite, extends to the Coffee County line. So once again, Coffee County, you're probably going to have a severe thunderstorm warning here in the next 20 to 30 minutes, as well as western Geneva County. Whether or not it gets up to the Troy area remains to be seen, but it might get to southern Pike County. And that activity, again, we've got the warnings now in our area, and expect maybe some more warnings coming across in maybe about an hour and a half. So 2 waves coming across at us this time, and we'll just have to wait and see. Again, so it looks like now the only tornado warning threat we have in our area is that one that is moved into Georgia, and now it is east of Blakely. And also you see the activity up east of Eufaula, further to the north, and the activity down around Pensacola. In fact, I think those are the 3 tornado warnings we have right now. And what do you have, Ted?
Well, this one for Covington County, is that a new warning that just came out?
Yeah, a few minutes ago, yeah.
Right, so we were concerned about that with this batch over here in the western Florida panhandle that is moving eastward, and the Florala gets set soon. You're going to be seeing a lot of lightning and some more very heavy rainfall, and also down into Holmes County, and you stay on your guard. Have your plan in place still, because even though they may not produce tornadoes, they're still capable of doing the damage. You know, breaking branches and all the like, power lines, things like that. These are all capable. These storms are all capable of. Hence the severe thunderstorm warnings. Obviously, wind gusts over 70 miles per hour likely in these areas, and just sustained winds is 40 plus. You know, that'll do some damage. So anyway, all of the above. How about some hail? Do you think these might be capable of producing?
I think the hail threat is diminishing because it was diminishing even as it moved across Mississippi, even though they had almost a dozen reports of it. But there still may have been some down around the Mobile area about 2 hours ago. I'm not really sure how that, again, we'll get reports and find out about that, maybe back in southwestern Alabama. The hail threat cannot rule out, especially up around Troy about an hour or two ago. That could have been definitely some hail around that area into East Pike County. And really, to be honest with you, anytime you have a tornado warning, whether it's Doppler indicated or not, quite often that creates a really strong updraft, and with the downdraft you can get hail as a side effect. So anytime you see a lot of lightning, be aware that probably there's a lot of updrafts going on when downdrafts, and that might be some hail associated with those storms. I don't really see, other than that, we just have severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, all of the Dothan area pretty much extending north, east, south, and southwest for 50 miles. We have severe thunderstorm warnings. But once you get back to the west, things have kind of settled down a little bit in Coffee County, as well as most of Dale County, and maybe the north central part of Geneva County. But more activity is coming in, and it's already, as we mentioned, a new severe thunderstorm warning for Covington County, including Andalusia and Florella, and that will go until, let's see, I don't know if I caught the time or not. I think that was till, it came out about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and I think that extends to, it would be probably about 12:45.
I haven't been able to find that one.
Sometimes they get kind of lost in the shuffle of all this, and it doesn't look like it was, if it was transmitted, it got buried in the others. Yeah. Let's see. Don't see it. But anyway, yeah, it is. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Well, it still should show up.
Yeah,
I need to go.
I was refreshing it.
What I'll do is I'll go to the Mobile one, and it should show up there because that's what they have a responsibility for. And not seeing the Florida one. Don't see. Well, anyway, okay. So, but you got severe thunderstorm warnings down again in Okaloosa County and all that to about 12:45, and they'll be extended eastward. The one in Covington County and Andalusia covers most of Covington County, not quite the extreme northern part, and that would be going, I would imagine, to either 12:45 or 1 Central Time this morning, probably 1 Central Time. And then as this activity continues to move east, since we do not have any tornado warnings in our immediate vicinity, we'll take a break and go back briefly to regular programming, and then kind of rearm and see what's going on and see if there's any things we might have missed, and then we'll come right back in a few minutes. For Ted King, I'm Oscar Fan.
You've been watching a WDHN Storm Team Severe Weather Report.